Can you tell us a little bit about the single, Russell?
Oh, I mean, this is one of those songs that really had to fight for. Uh, we wrote the song once. I played it for my wife. She did not enjoy it. She did not sign off on that song. And she said the title of the song is better than the actual song. So we took that, not what you want to hear, but, later on that year, we ended up rewriting the entire song, and we walked away with what is now what you just heard. And so, and she obviously loves the new version. And so it's just awesome to really work and fight for a song from a songwriting standpoint, and then to walk away with what has been the biggest song of my career thus far. It was a 2-week number one over here in America, and it just tied for the second longest running number five, second longest top five in country radio history. And so, this has turned out to be the biggest song of my career thus far. And there's no better way to kick off album 2 than the biggest song of my career.
You've risen to the top very quickly, haven't you?
I guess from the time I started seeing success to now, I would say it happened, decently fast. But I think it's the years leading up to that really prepared me for the trajectory of the last 4 years, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So you work and work, and then finally you get your shot, and then all of a sudden you're an overnight success. But it's been years leading up to the success we've had.
Do you mind my asking how old you are?
I am 33 years old.
Oh, you're doing pretty good for that. I'm 103 years old, but
You don't know. That's funny.
Can you tell us a little bit about the creative process of writing a song? How do you go about it?
There's, really, when I get asked that question a lot, and it's really just kind of, I think that's why my brain works so well in this creative environment, because it's so, you're chasing inspiration. You're playing guitar, or you're singing, or with every little thing. I just started whistling. And so it's just like, there's all these different things that you just kind of, you try this, you try that, you try a lyric, you try a melody, whatever it is. And, you're just chasing down that blip of inspiration. And then you start following it, and you follow really where the song leads you. And, it's such a fun process. And that's, I'm already in the process of writing album 3. And so after we hop off here, I'm headed to write more songs. And so it's just, I love that creative process of just searching for, and then how to communicate the emotions that, the stories that I wanted, like Love You Like I Used To, and how to express how my love for my wife has grown, and to put a fun twist on that. And it just, it's such a fun it's not a 100% gratification. It's not 100% gratification. There's so many songs that I've written that people will never hear, but it's just you're really just chasing that emotion and how to express it the best you can.
Is it a solitary thing, or are you kind of with people? How does it work when you're writing?
I love to co-write. I love to, bring people in that I respect and that I admire as songwriters. And it's fun because, like I said, you're just chasing one spark here and there. You're trying to find it, and then a co-writer, they'll say something and you're like, oh yes, and then that sparks a new idea in you. And then the other person, it's just this, like, it just starts to really get this synergy going. And not to use a cliche buzz term, but it's just like, it really is a synergy. And you just, like, you start getting excited about how it sounds and what the lyrics say. And then hopefully in a couple hours you walk away with a beautiful song.
Am I correct that you're in Nashville?
Yes. Yep. I moved here when I was 10 years old. My dad took a job as a music minister at a church. and we moved here when I was 10.
Tell us a little bit about what life is like living there, because as we know, everyone in the world knows it's the heart of country music. But what's it actually like to live there?
It's amazing. I mean, it's somehow has become this major metropolis. I mean, there's buildings going up everywhere. And I love that, with that comes a amazing restaurant culture. And, there's so many amazing places to eat now. And I love that Nashville's blowing up. And, it's nationally recognized as one of the best places to live. And so, having been here and watch it grow and watch it change so much, a lot of people I think could view that negatively, but I'm proud of it. I've been here since I was 10, and just to see it get that national recognition has been awesome.
Now, we talked about this slightly off the air. One thing that interests me is, which is very different over here, certainly in the UK, we're a very secular society, whereas in the US, religion is very much center stage. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how religion kind of interacts with your life and in general, life in general in the States?
Yeah, I think it's, um, I was raised in church. My dad was a music minister my whole life. And, I was there every Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night. Church was kind of like my second home. And, I feel like a lot of people can kind of be raised, a lot of people that are raised that way kind of just run away. And I never really had that, like, religion was never really forced on me. I was just kind of, I was there. And I feel like, God had been, I don't know, like working in my heart in a from day one, and it was never this rebellious runaway. I mean, obviously I had my rebellious moments and didn't go to church and all that, but I never really ran that far away. And I don't know, I just feel like I've it's just always been a huge part of my life, and trusting God with every decision and every opportunity. And just I invite him to inspire all of my songs too, you know what I mean? And so it's just been religion has been a huge part of who I am really since day one. And I'm proud of that. And I really do think that all of this has come from God. And I just kind of I got to give him credit for it.
Now, you're living the dream as far as a country music singer is concerned. I mean, what you have is probably what most country music singers would aspire to, very successful musically, obviously a lovely family, and you're in Nashville. But where'd you go
Mhm.
from here?
I mean, honestly, even though we've been going at it for 7 years now, even more really, I feel like we're just getting started. I feel like um, I'm just scratching the surface of how where this is going to go. And I'm only on my second album. I've only had 4 singles out, and that to I mean, I want to play arenas. I want to sell out. I want my name to be on Madison Square Garden, and I want my name to be on Royal Albert Hall. You know what I mean? And so I really feel like we're scratching the surface as far as, we're just getting started.
Will we see you over here in Europe? Are there any plans yet, or are you sort of waiting for the end of the pandemic and planning later?
Yeah, honestly, I think we might plan later just to play it safe and, really kind of get the States under our belt and kind of get back to touring and getting back in the swing of things. And, I think that's going to happen sooner than we think this year. And then, but that the UK is always right there on our minds of how can we get back as soon as possible.
How's it's probably the wrong way to phrase this, but how's the pandemic treated you? How are people reacting to it where you are in Nashville, and has it impacted a lot on your life besides obviously preventing you from touring?
Yeah, I mean, Yes and no, honestly. I mean, I feel like in the States, especially in Nashville, there's people who take it seriously and there's people who don't at all. And so, there's kind of to each their own. And we've been playing it safe, obviously, because she was pregnant for half of the pandemic, and then we had a newborn for 5 months. So, we kind of had to lay low. And but it's I don't know, it obviously the touring aspect has kept us here. But I mean, I don't know. We try not to live in fear of it. But I mean, yeah, it's obviously affected all of our daily lives.
Now, you actually have a different single out in the US. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's called Home Sweet. And, this song is one of my favorite songs I've ever written. And there's, to me, why this song is so special and different is because, it has such an emotional depth to it. But at the same time, it's this up-tempo, inspirational, just huge song. And, I feel like that's really rare. Like the content of the lyrical content of the song, if you just read it, might feel like it should be a ballad or like a really slow song. But we wanted to flip that on its head and just be like, no, this is exciting. This is what life's all about. And so this was just telling my story of, the first verse is getting back from our honeymoon, and I got dropped from my songwriting deal, and we were just completely broke. And all the way from that to the third verse of finding out we're having a baby. And it's just that I don't know, I feel like this song really encompasses my life story since I met the love of my life. And it really, I don't know, it's just one of my favorite songs I've ever written.
One final question. Someone who aspires to achieve the success that you have, especially in country music, what advice would you give them?
You just, I mean, really, I just kept going. That's it. I feel like I can sing, I can write, I can, do all that, but so can 1,000 other people. And, I just outlasted them. I just outworked them. And so it's all about, being prepared and being ready for your time. And, I feel like a lot of people get that prematurely and they blow it. But, I've been prepared. I've been working hard for a decade now. And, I just didn't quit. So that's all you got to do.